Hey everyone, this is Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast. Okay, we're going to be talking about something a little bit different today. You may have heard of it, you may not have heard of it, but we're going to be talking about ways to grow your DTC store, direct-to-consumer store, with Buy with Prime. Okay, this is a little bit different than you're normally used to, but if you've got a Shopify store or if you're selling on other e-commerce platforms, you definitely want to pay attention because we're going to be talking about Buy with Prime. What the heck is it? What effects will it have on your future e-commerce, and how to get early access? All right, welcome to another episode of Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm.
All right, welcome back. As I mentioned, it's going to be something a little bit different today. I've got a buddy of mine that has been on the podcast before, and we're going to be talking about Buy with Prime. We started hearing about it a little while ago, but a lot of people are confused because it has the word Prime in it. Okay, so our guest is an experienced growth hacker and e-commerce professional with a demonstrated track record of revenue growth and history of working across multiple industries. He's provided focused, intensive e-commerce consulting to get your CPG products flying off the viral shelf or virtual shelf. Our guest specializes in Amazon, Shopify, different e-commerce strategies, and channel diversification. And I'm talking about a friend of ours, Talal Asad. So before we get to it, Talal, Kelsey, hit the sponsor. A big thank you to our sponsor, Post Purchase Pro, the only complete A to Z done for you real email and text marketing service built specifically for Amazon sellers. My friends Sean Hart and Seth Stevens co-founded Post Purchase Pro after launching over 1,000 successful private labeled products, growing 53 brands, and get this, exiting 17 businesses. Post Purchase Pro creates all of your digital assets 100% for you, from marketing inserts, complete sales funnels, email follow-up sequences, and weekly email promotions. They manage and optimize everything for you to drive more sales, get higher ranking, and receive more reviews on Amazon. So check out Post Purchase Pro now to see if you too will see enormous growth like their nearly 500 clients worldwide. That's Post Purchase Pro at postpurchasepro.com/lunch. There we go. Okay, where is the Squire?
Hello.
How are you, sir? Is it a
I'm
crappy
doing
day where you
fantastic.
are?
It is. It is raining. It is miserable, but you know what? I'm in good spirits. I get to see Talal, so
All
I'm
right.
happy. It's a good day for me. So if you guys know the podcast, you know that we have to smash those like buttons, get it going. Share this episode too if you are interested in buy with Prime or an Amazon seller, e-commerce seller. This is going to be a good episode. I can guarantee it. If you're very new, you don't know who the heck we are, you can go over to the Facebook group, Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and e-commerce collective. That's where all the magic happens. You can ask your questions, be a part of the community. We've got a great group of beardos joining us over the years. I think we're almost at 3,000 members. So yeah, hang out, network, get to know each other there. And this is a recorded podcast, but it is being streamed live. I'm here watching it live with you guys.
Oxymoron.
Yep. So yeah, you can ask your questions. We're going to be posting them in the group too. We'll probably take Talal and see if he can answer it if he can. And yeah, we also have a giveaway too. So stick around. We are doing something a little different with our giveaways now. So you have to hear the mystery keyword to enter the Wheel of Kelsey. So just stick around for more information. We want to make sure the people that win the prize actually know what the prize is and they don't just spam Wheel of Kelsey before they even know. So other than that, I think we're good to go. We can jump into today's episode and yeah.
Okay, so today this is going to be interesting. So I know that your little buddy from Mexico is going to probably do the reminiscing, but we're not going to allow him to do it because I know that you guys took off and left your dad by himself while you guys had a pretty good time, I think. But anyways, before we get to that, look at you. You're just nodding and waving. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I can't wait to get to Talal. If you do have questions, throw it over in the comments section and we will get to those questions. Unfortunately, we can't do it live, but we will get to them. All right. Sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and welcome the person who corrupted my son in Mexico.
Hey, Norm. Hey, Kelsey.
What can I say? All I did.
Your son, he's uncorruptible.
Oh, he's corruptible. He was very corruptible. And all I saw was what you guys would post, on video in our little group chat. But I can just imagine what you didn't post. So
we had a grand old time.
Okay, very good. Very good. So other than corrupting my son, I think this is a pretty good topic. Nobody's talking really about it. It's something that came out a little while ago. People are hearing about it, but I don't think a lot of people, especially new people selling on Amazon, have ever considered multi-channel fulfillment. And let's get into that. So first of all, when did Buy with Prime come out? And then what exactly is it? So
great questions. Buy with Prime is currently in an invite-only kind of beta stage right now. And what it is a way for Amazon to marry a couple of different products that they've released over the course of the last few years. So MCF, or multi-channel fulfillment, is a program that Amazon has had for as long as I can remember, but they really have been pushing into creating it as an own standalone sort of service. They're really getting into like the logistics portion of Amazon, right? The delivery part of it, which is weird because it's such a low margin business to be in to begin with. So MCF, or multi-channel fulfillment, as people can do right now on your Amazon. If you go to your FBA, you can always go into like the inventory and say, send create fulfillment order, and you can send to somebody, or you can connect it to your Shopify and already get that sent out through using your Amazon inventory.
Right.
The second product that they have was Amazon Pay, which is a payment gateway that you can install on any site. And essentially, people can use the Amazon Pay instead of having to put their credit card number in over and over again. It just uses whatever people's Amazon, their Amazon credentials and the credit card that's stored onto that.
So can I ask you about that?
Sure.
Amazon Pay. Can that be used? Let's say I have a separate site that's not selling on Amazon. Can I use that on there?
Absolutely. Yeah, they are completely standalone products.
Very good.
And so with the Buy with Prime button is just their natural next step of putting these two things together, which is their multi-channel fulfillment as well as their payment processor. And the cool thing about Buy with Prime is it adds one more layer to multi-channel fulfillment. Right now, if you were to just use regular multi-channel fulfillment, it uses, you can pay extra money for their expedited shipping, which is what we all know as like the Prime 1 to 2 day shipping. But if you have the Buy with Prime button, they skip that 5 to 6 day shipping and it goes straight to 1 to 2 day shipping. So you're getting Amazon's fulfillment promise, and you're getting the ease of your credit card being already on site, so you don't have to sit there, and it just makes things a lot faster for the consumer, and they get to purchase it as if they are buying something from Amazon on your own website. And you retain, as the seller, you'll be retaining all the data. Amazon doesn't like hide the data or anything.
It's your customer.
It's your customer at the end of the day. Yeah.
So let me give you an example, and I just want to make sure everybody understands this. So I sell soap. I sell a ton of different scents. Only a few are on Amazon. So let's say I have 10 cents on Amazon, and they're just selling regularly. Then I have a Shopify store that is selling the soap, and they might have another 20, 30, 40 different scents on there. I can put this or install this onto that store. It does not have to pick. We're not talking about picking from my Amazon inventory, the 10, but it can, well, it could, but we're talking about it could fulfill that inventory that's at Amazon through, and this is confusing, but it can fulfill the other 40 that are not necessarily on an Amazon listing. Does that make sense? I know I screwed that up.
So we're saying that you have some of your SKUs on Amazon and some are not on Amazon. Will the buy with Prime button work on those not Amazon?
Yes, some of it overlaps. So let's just say my Dead Sea Mud and my Sandalwood are selling on Amazon, but they're also on my Shopify site with 30 or 40 other scents. I can install this and use the buy with Prime on my Shopify site, and it's not going to affect my Amazon sales. It's not, I mean, it's going to allow the product, the 40 different scents, to be sent from Amazon using Prime.
Correct? Yes. If I'm understanding you correctly.
I think so. I can't. Oh my gosh.
There is a major limitation to buy with Prime in its current state. Because it is in beta. You can't build a basket and purchase. So the buy with Prime is connected to the product directly. So it's kind of like a one click on that product only. You can do quantities, but you can't do like 3 different soaps and then check out with buy with Prime currently. They are working on that and hope to roll that out.
So we have bundles. So they're just like they're a 5 cent or 3 cent that we call one like nautical escape, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's all kind of oceany sea scents. And they couldn't, even though it comes in a bundle, they're 3 separate soaps. That couldn't happen. It would have to be one single soap right now, because they can't bundle those things together.
They won't bundle it on their end. If you sent it into Amazon as a pre-bundle with its own FN SKU, then yeah, you would be able to. FN SKU is a fulfillment network SKU for people who are new to this, which is how Amazon barcodes essentially your products there. But there's another thing you can do is, and this is really cool, is you can set up a completely separate Amazon multi-channel fulfillment account if you don't want to commingle your Amazon for sale on Amazon inventory with your inventory that you want with buy with Prime. So you can actually create 2 separate, and they allow it, is to create 2 separate fulfillment account. Like one is on your buy with Prime, and then your other inventory can be completely separate.
The other thing with this is some people, if they have a Shopify store, they don't want the smile on their box. They don't want that big Amazon, they don't want Amazon branding. They want just a blank box going out.
Yeah.
And that is an option now, isn't it?
That is an option. It's the blank box program. You do pay a little bit extra for it, but it is an option, and you can separate out those SKUs for you to do that.
Okay. So let's move on. Let's talk about how will buy with Prime affect the new e-commerce landscape.
You're already seeing it with Shopify coming out with their answer to buy with Prime. I think they announced it the other day. Like they're trying to jump into this fulfillment network stuff as well, as well as trying to like talk about the guarantees and Shop Pay. If you remember, Shop Pay was like their new payment gateway that they released maybe 3 or 4 years ago, where it's supposed to be as soon as they recognize your email address or your phone number, they like populate all of your payment details and send you a text if you want to purchase it. So you're noticing that there's going to be kind of an arms race between Amazon and Shopify, with them both trying to encroach in each other's I would say like areas of expertise, right? Like Shopify, when you think about Shopify, you think of it just as it's a website and a payment gateway, right? It's not really a fulfillment network, but they've been trying to jump into this fulfillment network game for a while. And I think you're going to start to see a lot more press around that.
Yeah. And what about, like, we talk about Shopify, we talk about Amazon. Are we seeing any other competitors starting to build up, like Google? You know, I talk about Google Business Profile all the time. I love it. I think that's a biggie. Are we talking about anything with Walmart? Where are you seeing other areas that are starting to build out? A different rabbit hole. I'm just kind of curious.
Well, I mean, Google has been trying to get into the Google e-commerce game for as long as I've been doing stuff, right? For 10 years. And I feel like every single few years, they launch a new kind of Google shopping platform, and then it just kind of fizzles away. And then they launch it again, and then it kind of fizzles away. And then they did Merchant Center. So, your catalogs can get pushed across Google Shopping faster. But yeah, so I do think Google's going to try this again. I think they've already have actually announced that they are pushing for their own channel. And then Walmart, again, same thing with Walmart. Walmart, we've only started to see in the last couple of years really make a serious effort and serious play in the Amazon or in the channel. I guess I would say like the channel, what do you call it? Like a online channel world, right? Like third-party channel of selling world. I don't know where Walmart will come like with their answer, like buy with the Walmart. I don't know if they have like their own payment gateways yet. I don't think they do, but I have a feeling that we're going to start to see more and more of these ways to try to get your consumer data from these third-party shopping channels.
Right. And I like, you said this earlier, I really like that this is another way that you can have the best of both worlds. You can have the captivated audience. And if you have a well-optimized listing, and maybe you're driving some external traffic, but you're building a community that likes to buy on Amazon and probably has more trust in Amazon than it does on your own website, especially if you're just starting out, then you've got the ability to take that and drive traffic over to your Shopify store or whatever store you have and build it that way. So you could be a little bit more creative. You can build your own group. You can even drive. I mean, we do this on our inserts. We want people to see that we have other products available on Amazon. And if this is going to make, or other products available on our Shopify site, we don't want to steal the customer. All we want to do is say, hey, we're here. Look at our cool branding. If you want some other options, great. But at the end of the day, I really do want you to go back to Amazon. We can hit you with some really cool emails and SMN texts and content, but I don't mind driving traffic over to Amazon. So I get that sales velocity and I keep that.
Sale.
Yeah, it's a sale is a sale. And at the end of the day, a new customer is typically costing me at least a referral fee, or the Amazon fee. So if I drive it over to my own site, a lot of people forget. They say, oh, I get all that money, it's free, but it's not. You've got to either build. Kelsey's probably rolling his eyes. We have to build a community. So that takes time and money. You have to drive external traffic. The inserts help out. I think that really does help out because everything comes down to that customer experience. If they open it up and they love what they're experiencing, and you're telling them you're even going to have a better experience, go to your site and check it out. Now you get the email and you can start targeting them, but they're still probably going to be going back and checking out Amazon as well.
For sure. I mean, there's just like an inherent trust that people have with Amazon at this point, right? They know that it's pretty hassle-free. They know and see the ubiquitous trucks driving all around every single day, and I think people really like that 1 to 2 day shipping almost. For sure. And so, yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. I feel like it's a great way. And I guess there's a lot of like moral questions that will come up. It's like, do you really want to give more information to Amazon? And by moral, I'm very loosely worded, but like, do you want to give more, information to Amazon, or do you want to really keep it in the Amazon ecosystem and whatnot? But in this case, it's like, if you can, double or even triple your conversion rate because of that trust, like, I mean, at the end of the day, you're doing this to make money, and you might make less money, but I think it's still worth it.
Absolutely. There's well spent money and there's thrown away money. Mm-hmm. So if this is part of your strategy, great, but think it through, because I'm just talking to anybody who's listening. think it through, because this might not be for you. You might not have the capital to do it. And it does take marketing dollars to get this going. So remember, if you use the brand referral program and you're driving external traffic over to Amazon, you're saving that additional 10%. You're getting that 10%, credit, that Amazon will pay you for that. So you have to weigh it out. This is really cool. I have an established brand and I'd like to try it out, just to see how it goes. But, you said you have to be invited. It's invited to the program. It's a beta program right now. So how do you get invited, or what is the process?
So it seems like they are targeting bigger brands right now, or going through their partner agencies. And they still, even through their partner agencies, they want to see velocities off Amazon velocities for you to be considered for it. So you would be able to contact them if you go to buywithprime.amazon.com, and you can actually request an introduction from there to a partner agency, of which by the time hopefully this episode airs, I will be. We're still going through kind of the paperwork right now. But yeah, so, and of course, you're always welcome to write me or someone that you would know who has those agencies. And a lot of the agencies have already been targeted to be Buy with Prime, or at least have some early access to Buy with Prime, but there's no guarantee just yet.
Right. Okay. So for the listeners that are kind of in the cloud right now, we can't see you, but I'd like to know if you're interested in this program. So I've got a couple things. It's not just a yes or no answer. First of all, would you be interested, and why? And have you been invited? So next, Talal has a really great, a very nice giveaway today. I just want to let everybody know we do have that mystery word. So it's #Wheel of Kelsey. And Kelsey, what are you going to do?
All right. Today we have a very special guest, Talal. So we're going to do our mystery word, #friendship.
Oh, look at that. I thought you were going to say tequila shots.
I thought I was going to say tres leches.
There we go. Yeah.
Quattro.
That's an inside joke, everyone.
Okay. I just love the tres leches. So anyways, so it's #Wheel of Kelsey, #friendship, and tag 2 people. You'll get an extra entry. But before we do that, let's go over to a sponsor. If you're selling on Amazon in 2022, you know how important it is to stand out from your competition. Let Honu Worldwide lend a helping hand with your product innovation to outcompete your competition online. That's right. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the success of your newly innovative product while Honu handles all the work. Visit honuworldwide.com for more information. That's Honu, HONU, worldwide.com, or email savings@honuworldwide.com. All right, and just a quick reminder, if you do have questions about Buy with Prime, just throw them in the comments section. Okay, let's see. I'm kind of looking into the future here, and I'm trying to see where you're thinking this is going to evolve. So I don't even know if you've even given this any thought, but I think this could evolve into something really cool. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think so too. They definitely have to work out that major kink, I think, which is you can only purchase one product with it. But as soon as they can get it into like building a basket and actually fulfilling everything all at once, that's going to kind of be a pretty big game changer in the world of direct to consumer marketing or direct to consumer like websites. Yeah. And then whether or not Shopify is going to like start putting blockers or things to like prevent it from happening, I don't know if they really can. It's at the end of the day, this is just like a widget that pulls information. So I don't know how they would be able to stop it, but they would have to up their game and add some more services. I think they'd have to actually compete. Hopefully that brings all e-commerce up, right? In general, better products, more ease of use. Yeah. So I think that this is a net good for everything.
I'm just wondering if you could throw this into your signature file, like on your email in Gmail, have a few products. Let's say you're having a special, and if you could buy right out of your email, that would be nice.
That would be really cool. Yeah. I wonder. That's a great question.
Yeah. Or
You're
even
quite
an
the growth hacker,
SMS.
Norm.
What's that?
You said you're quite the growth hacker.
I try. But, it would be really cool. And it would be the next step, the next evolution. So, you can see that I'm loving what I'm seeing on Google right now with their shoppable images, and they can go to any store that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Pinterest is doing shoppable images. I mean, everybody's going to these shoppable images. I mean, if you could put that into your own email, and if you've got a huge customer base and you're launching, like for us, another soap or another soap accessory, that would be so nice to be able to do, or right, even right on your Facebook post, just have it right there and just click.
No, for sure. I remember talking about, just, this is completely separate from Buy with Prime, but back in the days of cookies, the good old days of cookies, we used to actually cookie our email signatures out to the list as well. So then we would create, like, anyone who's opened our emails would then be created into like a cookie profile that we could advertise to as well. I don't think you can do that anymore, but
I don't think so. But I'm sure it might be done.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But yeah, we add a pixel to the signature, to the image in the signature.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows what the next marketing technique will be? I think Sean Hart will come up with it first.
For sure. It's so funny. All of your sponsors now, like, I know them all. Like, before it was just like sponsors, and I was like, oh, cool. And then in Mexico, I met everyone, and they're so cool, and it was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing about events, And by the way, so talking, just kind of going down a little bit of a different rabbit hole, is that I want to, like, I like talking about events, and Mexico was no different. I was able to meet so many suppliers, vendors, just people in the business, people I've never heard of before, which is fantastic, and I know, like, we know a lot of the same people, but it was just so unique to be able to go there and just talk to people, break bread with people you've never. It was a lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
Yeah. So I highly recommend it, especially if you're a newer seller. If you don't have a budget, definitely get out to some meetups. I know Carlos Alvarez, he has the Wizards of Ecom, and he's out in Miami. He's got 16 events he holds every month, and they're free. And there's a whole bunch of other events all over. There's some that are paid, and depending on your budget, you might want to get to them. When I got into this, I looked at my wife and I said, amazing.com is throwing an event. It's in Mallorca, and it was expensive. And I just said, I gotta go. And when I went there, I met about 40 people that were mostly, all of the people we still stay in touch with, and all of them have become very successful sellers. It's like Dima was there. So Dima Kubrick was there, and
cool.
he was just getting going. And like all of us, Tomer Rabinovich was there. All of these people that, all of a sudden you got to know, and still in contact today. Ina Smith, all these people. So really, really cool. So I know it's a different rabbit hole. I'm just letting anybody who is new to this, or even new to this buying with Prime, just get out there and you learn about these things, you understand them and how they can better affect your bottom line, your pocketbook, or if it's even worth it for you. And actually, I got to get out of this rabbit hole because I do have another question for you. Is this for everyone?
No, I do not believe so. The Buy with Prime, not the events. Events are for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Change the trajectory of everything for me going to events. But Buy with Prime is not for everyone. you have to do the math as well. Those the fees, they use the multi-channel fulfillment fees, so it's not the Prime FBA fulfillment fees. So remember, there's two fee structures on Amazon. One is the MCF rate card, and the other one is the Amazon, what do they call it? Full FBA rate card.
Yeah.
And because Amazon is not getting that 15%, they are still taking like, I think 2.5 or 3. I can't remember the number. They're still taking a percentage of the sale. But then you have to make sure, and you do the math that the numbers make sense for you using the MCF rate card. The good news is they are using the 3 to 5 day shipping card for 1 to 2 days. So it's like an upgraded for free rate card.
Okay.
So when you're doing that, so that's number one. Number two, it's not for everyone in the sense that, like, you know, you still have to tie up inventory at Amazon, which is kind of a scary proposition. Anyone who has ever sold on Amazon for an extended period of time has reached and has gotten stuck with some pretty gnarly inventory issues, right? Whether Amazon mislabels your product,
Yep.
whether they lost your product, whether your product gets kicked. And this is why I say to create another account and use it solely for Buy with Prime, is if your ASIN gets kicked off, or like you have a product condition complaint or something and it gets what they call sequestered, where it gets pushed off of like in dog page, you're going to lose that inventory. And so that's a terrifying thought for someone who's using their direct to consumer website as a backup in case things happen badly with Amazon, that you're just giving a lot of power in one channel. So you have to be ready for it and be ready to stomach kind of that new that new fulfillment channel, or what would you call it? Like third party network channel.
When I started back in 2013, 14, Amazon didn't charge you anything for storage. There was no late fees. There was no, I mean, you could bring in truckloads, nothing.
That's
now they're becoming very expensive, and they want to be very expensive. They don't want to be a fulfillment center, I don't think, or at least for slow moving products. Are there any other fees associated with storing your inventory over at Amazon and using the Buy with Prime?
Yeah, just that fee. I think it's like 1 to 3%. I can't remember what it was. So there's that fee, and then the multi-channel fulfillment fees, and then obviously sending to Amazon, you're going to be paying a partnered carrier as well to take your stuff and send that there.
But they're not giving you long-term storage fees, or?
Oh, that's a great question. I do not know if there are long-term storage fees associated. I will ask and follow up. Okay, very good. All right. Well, I think, unless there's anything else, is there anything that you'd like to add about the Buy with Prime? Yeah. So one other thing to keep in mind is if you're not creating 2 separate accounts entirely and you're doing it all in one with your FBA inventory, lots of people, like you mentioned earlier, inserts are a really, really big part of people's websites, and you have a lot more control over your inserts for the stuff that you fulfill on your Shopify than you do for Amazon, right? Amazon has all these rules that you can and can't do, but when you send your own stuff, you could do whatever you want.
Right.
So just be careful that if you are doing commingled with your regular Amazon FBA, that you're still being compliant with the inserts. If you do separate them out as 2 completely different things, you can do whatever you want to your inserts, and hopefully Amazon actually starts offering some more things that they can add to your boxes as well. I don't know right now, that's not being done, but we're hoping in the future that that's where they're going to be moving towards.
I know that there will be questions about what are you talking about. So can you expand on the being TOS compliant with your inserts?
Sure. Yeah. So for example, we all know that you can't steal the Amazon customer, right? You can't tell them to go to your website or send them things with like saying, hey, fine, here's buy 3, get 1 free if you scan this. Now, of course, people have all these different growth hacks around it. But for the most part, being compliant means you don't direct people to your website. You don't direct customers to your off Amazon website. And so that's just the number one thing to make sure to be compliant with.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, I think that's it for today. I think you're off the hook, Talal.
Wow, that was an easy one.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me see. Talal, before we get to the Wheel of Kelsey, let's get your contact information.
Sure. You can email me directly at talal@brandtogether.io.
Perfect. All right, Kels, where are you?
All right. We're about to head over to the Wheel of Kelsey, so make sure you get in your 2 hashtags, hashtag Wheel of Kelsey and hashtag friendship, to get entered for today's prize. And before we get to that, you still have a few more seconds. We're going to throw it over to our last sponsor, and then we'll see who wins.
A big thank you to our sponsor, Startup Club, the largest club on Clubhouse with over 790,000 members and growing. They're one of the world's largest communities supporting the startup ecosystem, from founders to those wishing to work for a startup and everything in between. You can find them at www.startup.club for blogs, recordings, and a calendar of upcoming shows, and on the Clubhouse app. Just search Startup Club for daily shows 24/7. You can also now listen to their show, the Serial Entrepreneur Club podcast, on Apple and Spotify too. Stop by to connect, learn, and grow together. All right, there we go.
All right, so let's throw it over to the Wheel of Kelsey, and then we'll see who the winner is.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right, so with some fancy editing, I'll be popping in live right now. And
Congratulations!
Congrats. All right, hello everyone. It's me, Kelsey. I'm here. I'm currently at my brother's place in Montreal. Norm is currently in Australia too, so he's been there for a couple days now, and he's coming back Monday. So we're gonna have new episodes recorded, or live episodes, next Wednesday. So stick around for that. But I believe on Monday we have an episode with Afalabi that's pre-recorded about 3PLs and the questions you should be asking, and kind of like a checklist to find the best 3PL suited for you. But anyways, that's not what you're here for. You're here for the Wheel of Kelsey. So let's get into it. I think I have everyone's Wheel of Kelsey entries. Just double checking. And let's go over to the wheel. Pretty good odds today. And yes, I'll let Hayden know you say hi, Christine. Let me see. Okay, sharing my screen. Okay, so here we go. Chad, Drew, Tony. Did I miss anyone? I think we're good. All right, here we go. Giving it a spin. 3, 2, 1. This is for the hour consultation with the one and only Talal. And it looks like Tony wins today. Congratulations, Tony. So you can email me, k@lunchwithnorm.com, and we'll get you that information. And let's see. Redbeard, I've yet to get an email from Afalabi. Should I try calling? I believe Afalabi might be traveling the next couple of days, so he might just be away. But let me get you that information as well. Christine, I'm going to contact Talal and see if he can give you an answer. We're going to post this in the Facebook group, and we'll take you and Talal, and so you can have the answer for that. Yes, so if you have any more questions, let me know. If you have any questions about today's episode specifically, you can post it in the comment sections, or even in the Facebook group. We'd be happy to do it. And I think that's about it. So there's a few more minutes left. Enjoy the rest of the episode. Good to see you guys. And congrats again, Tony. Tony, email me, k@lunchwithnorm.com, and we'll get back to it. But we'll see you Monday with Afalabi's episode. And enjoy the rest of the show, and enjoy your weekend. Congratulations to whoever won. Congratulations to you. Make sure you email me, k@lunchwithnorm.com. And I think that's about it. Yeah, thank you, Talal. And yeah, it was great.
Okay, so Talal, thanks for coming on. If you want, just hold on for a couple of seconds backstage, and then just we'll get back to you. You're not going to be knocked off. Okay.
Sounds good.
Right. So thank you, Talal, for coming on. I hope you learned a little bit today, because it's just something that nobody really is talking about. And for the right buyers, it's going to be an awesome option for you. So pre-recorded, yes, the oxymoron. We went live with a pre-record, but that'll work itself out. And we can't really announce anybody coming on next because we don't know when this is going to air. So I guess it's just over to you, Kels, and then we can close this up.
That's right. So again, if you're new to the podcast, or maybe you've taken a hiatus, make sure you come back to the Facebook group, Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and eCommerce Collective. That's where all the fun stuff happens. That's where you can ask your questions, get advice. We post questions in there, polls. We want to see what everyone's thinking in the Amazon and e-commerce world. So head over there. We're also doing webinars and giveaways and all that fun stuff. So check it out. It's Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and eCommerce Collective. And don't forget to smash those like buttons. Give us a thumbs up. If you're watching from YouTube, make sure you subscribe down below. Ring that bell. We've passed our 2,000 subscribers, which is awesome. And yeah, we're hoping to keep that up. And don't forget, this is a podcast. So if you are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast, you can find Lunch with Norm. And just make sure you give us a review, hopefully 5 stars. And
Kelsey,
that's that.
You're lucky you're not on Amazon.
No, I get thrown off instantly.
Yeah. Okay. Nothing like saying, hey, if you like the podcast, just give us a review. Perfect. Okay. Anyways, we just leave it there. So join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And I can't see the community. I'm hoping you're there, but we have an awesome community. We can feel it. We can feel that energy. But we have an awesome community, and we could not do this without you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching today, and we will see you soon.
Lunch with Norm.